Coming up with exciting and interesting NPCs for our Dungeons and Dragons and RPG games can be one of the trickiest things that we as a GM have to face. Well, today on the vlog, I've got a couple of great tricks to help out with creating those NPCs. So I've got two great tricks for coming up with NPC ideas, and one is when you actually need like everything about the NPC, and the other is when you're just looking for a good name. So here we go, let's get right into this one. First and foremost, if you're trying to figure out a great NPC for your game, I'm actually going to take this, I'm borrowing this from Matt Colville. I heard it in either one of his videos or one of his live streams, and he's talked about mining your games, mining the games you've played in or mining the games you've run for your NPCs. What I mean by that is, let's say you've got lots of experience, you've been playing the game for a while, or even for just a short time. You've probably had interaction with great players, and they've come up with great characters. Well, one thing you can do is borrow some of those very characters for your other games. Or, for instance, if you've been a player like me for a long time, one of the things I can do is I can go back through my history of different characters that I've played through the years, and then I can insert them into the games I run as NPCs. One of the great things about this is that I'm pretty familiar with those characters. I have a good sense of who they are, what they're interested in, what they're afraid of, you know, all of their sort of background stuff, all of the things that make them an interesting character. Maybe some of their most exciting exploits and such. And I can bring that into the game to imbue the NPC with life. I might even have already come up with a great character voice. If I do that, it's not necessary, but it's something that as a GM that we might do. And then if I've already established that character, it should be a fairly easy transition to bring them into the game as an NPC. The other thing that kind of comes with a little bit of a challenge with NPCs, especially if you do things on the fly, your party might go somewhere that you didn't plan on, or at least you had a rough idea and now you're on the spot for coming up with an NPC name and maybe even a personality to go with it. Well, here's one of the other great things you can do. Rather than using a random name generator, which works fantastically, why not just borrow names from your friends? There are fantastic names that my friends have used for their player characters that my other players might have never heard. They have no idea about. So why not borrow those names? I think this is a great source for NPC names, and it's something that you could probably pull from out of your hat on the fly. You know, those things that you have those memories of these great sessions, great games. And back to my first point, if you borrow their character as an NPC, again, you sort of have an idea of what that character's like, what they act like, what they say, how they talk, and so forth, what they care about, you know? So not only the names, but maybe even the entire personality you could draw and use those as your NPC for your game. So number one, turn PCs, either yours or your friends, into NPCs. And number two, just use those names and personalities. That's my quick tip or my two quick tips for today. Aside from having a list of NPC names at the ready as you DM your games, what are some other ideas that you use when you need to come up with an NPC on the fly? Let me know all about it in the comments right here on the video. Hey, check one of those videos out next. I'll see you at a table someday. Keep rolling 20s, and remember, it's your game. Play your way. Thank you for tuning in. I've got a really great... Today I've got a quick